Well, welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here on a day when it's a blue sky and sunny and beautiful out. We had a little bit of rain, as you know, in recent days. But we're very excited that you're here to see Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. We're still in technical rehearsals for a few days, but we will be grand opening this in just a few days on Monday, July 2nd. So what we'd like to do is take you all through the experience, let you ride it, and then we can talk a little bit more about it afterwards. We'll probably skip so that you have to wait in the 50-minute, whatever wait is right now, in the queue. So I'll tell you a little bit about the queue. When you go into the queue, for the few people who may not have seen Despicable Me, how many have seen the movie, right? Everybody? Good, good. Did your homework. We do run a 15-minute loop video in the queue that gives a little background about Gru, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, and how he adopted them, about Dr. Nefario, and of course about the Minions. Because the main thing here, from a guest standpoint, is that we're going to turn you into Minions, because Gru needs some help planning his next big supervillain plot and event. So one of the things that we tried to do very hard on this is, you know, the attraction previously was Hanna-Barbera and then Jimmy Neutron. Well, we want to make sure the guests understood this is an entirely new experience. So obviously, adding a small little thing like Gru's house to the outside gives you the idea immediately this is a whole new ballgame for the park. And as soon as you come to the entrance, it's right in the view. It presents a great entrance for the attraction. And as you see as we go through, we've created actually new areas within the attraction that before were behind the scenes and part of the retail space. The video system changed out from film to a 3D, high-tech, 4K resolution digital video system. It's the same one that we just recently upgraded to Spider-Man, so if you've been on that recently, it's that same rich texture that you see on Spider-Man. And we just changed the whole interior of the whole space, so it's a whole new story and characters. So let's go see. Let's see what Gru's up to. Post-show experience that extended the guest experience from the ride into the post-show, so it's not just a walkout area. And obviously the Minions are extremely popular with everybody, the kids, the family, everybody loves them. So to come out and celebrate the girls' anniversary with Gru, with the Minions, with the dancers, it's a great way for a guest to have a final experience before, surprisingly, to go into a retail experience, into a Super Silly stuff store. But even the store is an extension at the end when Gru takes the girls to his version of Super Silly Funland. We want to make sure that that experience continued into the retail, and that's what you'll see from the theming of the retail store as well. So if you want, before the next group of Minions comes, we'll head on outside and we can answer some questions. Okay, and talk a little more about it. So one of the things that we really strove for, obviously one of the challenges that we run into when taking a story or a property like Despicable Me and turning it from a two-dimensional animated film into a three-dimensional attraction is creating that 3D space. So besides the great facade of Gru's house out front, the first room you come into, which operationally we call the preload, where you get your Minion goggles, but the theme of it is Gru's living room. So you saw a lot of the icons from the movie, Rhino Chair, the Iron Maiden. We had 4 brand new oil paintings created. 2 of them are original just for the attraction, Gru and the Girls, which is on the left side, and then Mr. Perkins from the Bank of Evil, he's from the film. On the other side, we have the Sea of Minions with Gru and his Minions, because we thought, what better way to tell the guests they're going to be part of the family than showing a portrait of Gru and the Minions. And then one of the more fun paintings is the one of Dr. Nefario on the right side, and that's actually the image that comes up on Gru's phone when he calls Dr. Nefario. And it's a great picture of Nefario coming back from the beach, which is kind of scary when you stop to think about it. So we really tried to recreate and immerse you into the world of Gru right at that first scene. Guests seem to really enjoy it. And the other thing we really strove for, not only in the design of the sets, but in all the video, is create a lot of little moments that you won't see the first time you come through. In fact, how many people saw the underwear hanging from the piranha in the living room? So there's something to look for when you go back. So that's what we really wanted to do, is for a repeat Minion visitor to have them come back and see a lot of little things that they might not see the first 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 times they come through. So when you go into the next room, we went from the warm, kind of cozy feel of Gru's living room into the Minion prep room, and that's the first portion of Gru's lab. So the look and the feel get a little more mechanical and lab feel to kind of get you into the mood that you're going to be transformed into Minions. And then obviously the first time you see Gru live is there with you and the girls. And little Agnes's whole story about wanting to give Gru the present is a warm little moment. In fact, I've been on rides where some young girls have been in the ride vehicles and they're yelling during the main show, "Save the present, save the present," you know. And then they look at me, there's a big tall guy with a tear in his eye. They don't know why. So that was always a lot of fun. And of course, some of the effects, like the banana scent. One of the ways we did that was we didn't want to inundate the room during the day so that the guests towards the end of the day would smell banana as soon as you walked in. So we bring the scent up through the railings, actually the Q rails go through the room, so that it comes up and it's enough that the guests can smell it, but then it dissipates quickly and the rest of it gets carried out with the guests. So the next group of guests come in, you don't really notice the banana smell. So it's kind of a surprise. And of course, bananas is one thing that every minion loves, right? You all have a hankering for bananas now? Good. Because you can actually get some. Up in the queue, we actually have banana trees planted. So, and the little shrubs that you see there, they're being pruned as we go, but they're in the shape of minions. So we have minions and banana trees even up in the queue. So we try to extend it from the very beginning right to the very end of the story. And the story. And then the main show, as you saw the 3D video, it looks great. It's very immersive. That screen in there that you saw is 70% bigger than the old screen that was part of the old attraction. Of course, the chassis of the car is brand new. The whole look and feel of the entire attraction is completely different, completely new. So we're very excited about that. I think one thing you notice that throughout, obviously Despicable Me, the movie, it was one of the top 10 grossing animated films of all time now. It was also the first full-length CG animated feature from Universal Pictures, and it made it a natural for us to bring it to here to Universal Studios because it's a very kind of hip, cool story. The music is really cool. The characters are so lovable, and it gives us an opportunity to create a whole new story, which this ride is. This ride is not about the old story of Despicable Me, and it doesn't give a premonition of what's coming next year, July 13 for Despicable Me 2. We created with Chris Melandandri and the team at Illumination Entertainment a very authentic experience for our guests here at Universal Studios Florida. We have the same heart, the same warmth, the same characters. All the characters were voiced by the original talent from the film, with Steve Carell, Miranda Cosgrove, Dana Fisher, and Dana Gare and Elsie Fisher. So we really tried very hard to make it an authentic Despicable Me experience, but unto itself. So right now, before the next film comes out next July, this is the only place that you can come and have a minion experience with Gru and the Girls. We're really excited about it.